Hello core bikers, welcome to today's episode. We're going to be doing a classic seat here. It's going to be pretty interesting. I know it's only pictures, but it's all I've had time for. I haven't had any time to do any filming. Luckily I'd already taken some photographs of this process, so sit back and enjoy, and it's pretty exciting, so have a look.
There's a place to go.
Right, so the first part here, measuring apart some holes on the back of this seat. We're going to have to drill these holes out because this is where some rivet studs are going to have to go through, and it'll hold the cover on temporarily. It has to be temporary because you need to be able to take this part off to be able to paint the back end of the seat. So I use a finger and the pen here just to give me an idea on the depth of where these holes are going to drill. You can measure this, but personally this is the way I prefer to do it. Right, so instead of rivets we decided to use some Chicago screws so that they're removable. Obviously you need to remove this part of the cover so the back end of the seat can be painted. So we decided to go with a larger head and less of them because it made more sense, made it look better. To measure that part of it, we used a drill next to it, as you can see here. That will gauge you how big the holes need to be. So in this instance it was 4mm. All you're going to do then is just drop the screw head into the hole just to make sure it fits right, and then you can move on to the next stage. So here we're going to be drilling the holes for the rivets that we're going to use. The ones we are using are 3.5mm, so you need a 3.5mm drill bit. Drill them nice and evenly apart. Make sure you drill slightly more holes or closer together in focused areas like corners. This will help for the covering stage at the end. And then you're going to be foaming up the bike. So do a bit of research on your bike. It's always good to know exactly what your bike needs to look like. As you can see on this one, we decided to use some front to back flutes because that's what it's suited for its era. We didn't use too much foam, as you can see. The next stage we've actually missed, unfortunately. So if you go back and watch a few of our other videos, you can see how we do the templating part. But otherwise, this is how we do it. So we've already done the templating part here. We basically mirror the image across, make sure it's exactly the same both sides. This will give you a nice even finish of the seat. Make your allowances. The 8 to 10 there, that's millimetres, is for the sewing allowance. The other little arrow there, that depends on how much you need to go around the bottom. Then we make some marks on all the panels to know where it all goes together. I hope you guys are keeping up. However, unfortunately I've missed some more footage off. Yes, well done Edward. So, while you guys are going to be pretty clueless, you could always go back and watch my other videos to see how I get some stuff done. So these two panels, they need to go onto 12mm foam. So with some machining skills, you need to sew up and down these lines like this. Then this panel here needs to go onto 3mm foam. It gives a neater finish around the outer edges. Join those two panels together, making sure those lines all meet up nicely. Then you need to top stitch across in these two directions, so left to right. Do the same on that border that's in 3mm, and then make sure that there's some cuts and nicks and marks where it can go around the corners nice and neatly. If you're a machinist, you'll understand all this. Otherwise, I will do some more machining videos just so you guys can learn from me. So once that border has been sewn around like this, making sure all the little marks and nicks that you made earlier meet up with each other, it's quite important. Make sure you cut all the pieces that are going to be folding around the edges, just makes all your life easier. Finally, you want to top stitch onto those two panels on the outer border there. And this one here and this one here. And then that's good and ready for covering, pretty much. So stay tuned, and we're going to be doing the next stage in just a moment. Right folks, hopefully I haven't bewildered you too much, and some of this has made sense. Right, so you're going to need a tin of contact adhesive for the next part, and you're going to be spraying both of these panels here, like so. These two have already been done. That's the directions you want to be spraying, 12 inches apart. Then you're going to need a needle to be able to pierce the fabric, because then you're going to be doing this. As you can see, we've started at the top in the middle there, and this is quite important because you need to be able to pull the fabric down evenly both sides. So using the same process, after screwing one of the Chicago screws in to hold it, you're going to be pushing the screws into the cover like this, and then you're going to be hooking them over into the hole. Then basically just flip it over, you want to put the head on, making sure when you've got all the way down to the bottom that the bottom is turned over because it'll hold the cover in better. And that's it, that's that back end ready. It's time to get on to the riveting. So riveting, you want to be doing the front in the middle or at the sides in the middle, either is up to you. Again, same needle method, poking through there. Make sure you don't push too hard because of course damage can happen, and then we don't really want that, do we? Because it'd be pretty horrific. Then you're going to be pushing the rivets into the holes that you've made. Hold it in with your thumb, get the rivet gun on it, snap it in. Get to this stage of the seat, you're going to tuck it around this direction first, tuck it over the top there, and then get yourself a rivet in that very last little corner hole that you saw earlier. Finish it off nice and neat like that, and then you're finished, guys. So cut off a little bit of extra fabric and congratulate yourselves because you've done a good job. Right guys, so there's your finished product. I decided to do this for you, put a little bit of an idea into your head as to what it might look like, because I don't have an image of what the bike's like yet. It's not finished, you see. So have a look at the finished result and see what you think. Be sure to like, share and subscribe, guys. Leave a comment if you want to see some more stuff like this, maybe done better. Otherwise, don't believe what you see on the internet because it's not always true. Yeah, thanks for watching.